Dr. Chiu, I would like to talk to you about sleep apnea. Sleep apnea seems to be something which lately, in the last couple of years, more and more doctors have realized as being a really bad thing. They knew that people have it, but they didn't realize how it impacts their life. There, for instance, has been a study out there very recently that apparently more people fall asleep in the afternoon in their car than there's people dying from and having accidents from drunk driving. Now that's pretty bad. And apparently, when it comes to sleep apnea, it's basically most people who snore have it, not all, but most do. And what it happens is you stop breathing throughout the night. You wake up. You don't know you wake up, but you do wake up. You don't get the oxygen you're supposed to do, and by doing so, you become very exhausted and tired the next day. In fact, people wake up tired and exhausted, and obviously that's a lifestyle problem. Now, there is a mask, an oxygen mask, and they call it a CPAP, to be put on. The problem with it, and that's a very good treatment if people wear it, but it's something people don't wear. They have this big tube coming out. They cannot turn and toss. They can not sleep on their stomach. It's very, very uncomfortable, apparently, for almost all people. Thus, they don't wear it. And thus, a appliance you doctors make, it's called a sleep appliance. It's like a mouth guard, I guess, but you will explain it a little more. Does the trick, stops the snoring, and gets the person breathing, and by doing so, his energy level next day is like, wow. Literally, we could compare that treatment with, you know how people want to have a Red Bull drink in the afternoon, or all kinds of energy drinks. It's a billion dollar industry. And coffee, of course, come to think about it, let's have a sip. And that type of stuff is like, and people do it because their energy goes down, and yet that one could, in many cases, not necessarily 100% in all cases, but it could in many cases be the absolute solution for more energy, and a dentist can fix it for a fraction of the price than the mask costs, which then people usually never wear. Can you shed some light on there? And I know you're doing this type of treatment. Tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. The reason you have sleep apnea is because your throat, your airway is obstructed while you're sleeping. And what we can provide in the dental office is devices where we push the tongue forward or push the jaw forward, which opens up the airways. So when they're sleeping, that airway is not obstructed, and they can breathe in, breathe without any problems. And that makes a world of difference to a lot of patients. So a very simple solution. There are many devices. We just got to choose which one fits the patient the most and treat that condition, which is very, very important. It does affect the patient's health overall from lack of oxygen when they're sleeping, and it can cause a serious health issues if it's not treated.
Okay, so you do agree with what I said about that it affects the lifestyle of a person. I mean, if he doesn't get enough oxygen at night and at the same token wakes up sometimes as much as a few hundred times and sometimes as much as a few dozen times, nevertheless, the person never goes into, kind of stage 4 or whatever that is of sleeping. He never goes into that deep sleep. Or is not long enough there. I've seen people who did the test and they slept 8 or 9 hours, but they really only slept an hour and a half based on the test. Never mind getting deprived of oxygen, and the combination of it is just a sluggish, not well-thinking body, because I'm sure you have noticed when we're tired and exhausted, we don't want to have new ideas. We don't want to solve problems. We don't want to talk to our spouses. We just want to kind of sit there, maybe watch at the tube, at the television, and be kind of half numb because we are tired. And that's just, in many cases simply because throughout the night you thought you were sleeping, but you didn't. You thought you were breathing, but you didn't. Did you agree with that saying? And is that really lately becoming more and more proven that this is what it is?
Yes, I totally agree. it is something that we need to treat. Yes. So yeah.
Good. And you do that. So the treatment doesn't take all that long. Like, how long does it take to put one of those sleep mouth guards on it? Take the impression and whatever it is and do that. How many visits are involved there? 1 or 2 visits? What are we talking about?
Usually takes 2 visits. There's some devices that only take 1 visit, but usually takes 2.
Okay.
Very simple. We just take them. Yeah. Usually take a few molds of the teeth.
No injection needed, right? Or yes?
No.
No?
No, not at all. Very simple. Yeah, painless.
Painless. I love it. And then people do sleep better and do feel a resurgence of energy.
Oh, yes. It makes, the next day, patients tells me the next day they feel a lot better. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah, because they slept. They slept.
Yeah. Yeah.
and what
more
about
energy, wake up with more energy.
Yeah. What about the snoring? What about the snoring? Does it go away?
Yes, definitely. At least we'll minimize it. And the goal is just to open the airways. If you open the airways, the snore will be reduced or be gone.
Yeah, because some people, they really do snore so heavy that you can hear them 2 rooms down the road, and I can't understand why it is difficult to sleep next to them. And my wife snores and I snore, but apparently it isn't yet loud enough to wake up the neighborhood. So, so maybe we should do about it. And is it true that most people who snore have that that they also at the same time have the stopping of the oxygen and not sleeping as deep as they should?
Yes, you can generally say most of them do, not all of them, but most of them do have the condition where it's a sleep apnea condition.
And before people get this device made by you, which is, let's just call it a mouth guard for lack of better definition on my part here, do they all need to have a sleep test before, or is it kind of, look, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and I'm snoring, let's just do it?
You don't have to, but it wouldn't hurt going to get a test done. But if you're noticing that you're tired all the time, you can concentrate, you wake up with headaches, those are usually those symptoms of lack of sleep, and more likely if you're snoring, then more likely you are suffering for sleep apnea. And I would highly recommend go and see a dentist, and get one of these devices, see if it makes a difference.
Good, beautiful. Thank you very much for explaining this to us, Dr. Chiu. Bye bye.